Please take the floor.
Dear candidate, on the authority of the Rector Magnificus and in accordance with my rights, I would like to say that it has been a pleasure and privilege to read your thesis. It's a well-researched and well-written thesis, and what is more, we need this kind of studies. We do indeed need it in biblical studies, where we handle texts that are supposed to be of great importance to many people, but where we as an academic guild struggle to communicate the relevance of our academic approaches to the wider leadership community. So many thanks for your efforts of writing this thesis. When relating two texts, as you do, a quite obvious question is why? And I think that you have answered the why question well. The whole project, the whole point of the thesis, in a sense, is a response to a why question. You aim to see to what extent a cross-textual reading of two religious texts can offer possibilities for peace building. However, if we ask why you choose these two particular texts as entries and cases into an investigation, you say less. On pages 20 and 21, you say that the reasons for choosing, up at the top of page 21, the reasons for choosing these texts are because they play an important role in the two communities, and also that they share a parallel narrative structure, which is important. And then I have a question. Did you ever consider our text with supposedly similar parallels? Could you please reflect a bit on your choice of texts?
Thank you, learned audience. Why I choose this text of Jabbok and Jabbok and Dewa Ruci and not the other text? The first hint for me is that both texts is built in the context of tension, brotherly tension. Brakudara journeys is built on the tension between Pandawa and Kurawa, brother, cousin actually, who are leading to the great battle Bharata-Yuddha. And Jabbok and Esau, brothers, they are enmity there. Esau wants to kill him. Jabbok is cheated. So many hatred, many like anger. This same motive, when the person have to deal with very significant and existential struggle in the context of the brotherly tensions, it's really hit me at the first. This is really fit in the motive. How a person being transformed in amidst of the brotherly tension. Well, is there any other text? Could be so. Of course, we can find many other texts. But the other hints that came to me is the spiritual experience, the wrestling one, the curiosity. Who are you? As both partners to the divine partner. And this divine partner can transform them. Of course, in its own broader context. So there are many resonances, the same motive that give me a calling to deepen. And this story is the story of the Javanese Christians. If they are Christian, they know the story of Jabbok and Jabbok. If they are Javanese, they know the story of Dewa Ruci. It's very famous. And there are mystical elements contained in both stories. That's why, besides other stories that we can maybe try to search, this too is really, for me, sense, in one or two position really fit and can be given through the kind of method cross-textual reading.
Yeah, that's fine, but it means that you have a rather pragmatic approach to this. Your point, as I understand you, is not to make an in-depth exegesis of these two texts per se, is rather to use these two texts for a higher purpose, namely to see to what extent they can serve as possibilities for peace building. And in that context, you could have chosen any text in a sense, but you chose these because they pragmatically fitted your higher purpose in a sense. Is that correct?
On the way, in a sense, it could be like that. But I think what I did is to come to the text itself, every text, as deep as I can, through a kind of method I call as a narrative approach. Even I'm not a Japanese expert who can deepen on the meaning of symbols, what I'm doing as a biblical exegete is to use narrative approach to the text of Dewa Ruci, and also then to the text of the Jabbok in its own corpora before make them in interaction. This is my critique to Arsili, because in Arsili, in his cross-textual schema, he just mentioned that when you find the text with the same motif, then directly we can make a comparison and encounter. I do not think so. It's important to digest one text by itself before take these two texts after being discerned, digested in interaction, by qualifying either both the commonalities or also the differences. So what I try to do is to take seriously its text in its own body before make them meet.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next opponent is Professor Dubbink. Professor Dubbink is Dirk Monshouwer Professor of Biblical Theology in the Faculty of Theology of this university. Professor Dubbink.
Esteemed candidates, on the authority of Director Magnificus and in accordance with my rights, I will continue the opposition, but not before I first have congratulated you with your thesis. In my opinion, it's a study which in all respects meets the highest academic standards and at the same time is directed at providing help to local communities reading the Bible in a multicultural and multi-religious situation, and that is a formidable achievement. But my task is to challenge your arguments. Being a biblical scholar, I'll stick to the Jacob part. I will start with a methodical question that I will illustrate with an example from your own exegesis. On page 22 of your thesis, you point to, I quote, the fact that most Indonesian socially engaged biblical scholars define the role of the exegete as a scholar who is willing to let his scientific practice be partly constituted by the interests and needs of, in this case, Japanese Christian readers of Scripture. Well, I take it that this is more than an observation, that you include yourself here and commit yourself to this ideal as being a socially engaged biblical scholar. Is that correct?
Can you clarify the pages?
Well, you are talking about socially engaged biblical scholars, and I think you include yourself. You wanted to be a biblical scholar. Yeah, okay. Later on, you engage in a discussion of post-historical critical exegesis, and you more or less discard the idea of the text having one fixed meaning, or the combination of these two. Yeah. The text losing its fixed meaning and the interests of the exegetes entering into the equation. That makes me a little bit nervous. How do you intend to prevent the production of only these exegetical results that concur with our interests and needs? How do you make sure that the text can speak for itself and possibly even says something we do not like? And
discuss about the sedimentation of the texts or the historical discussion of the text. But I will let the text as a narrative to inform stories, meanings, to share its message. Then I think we can do an execute effort based on the final form of the text, like what I do also to the theater text. So it should be the same methods before they are encountered. And the method I choose is a narrative method who take as a consideration of the final format. Then the format is the story.
And so far I'm with you, but how to prevent that your own interests and needs, as you formulate, are determining what your results are? How do you prevent that?
If I'm not mistaken, your reaction. For me, the story and the narrative methods that apply to to the two texts is fit, because my intention is I want to find what can some stories offer to the readers who have hybrid set of location. There are, of course, a big discussion about the point of view of interpretive theory, but one of the theory that can be developed in my context, who have many stories. Usually the Asian, when they come to the text of the biblical text, they will try to look at the message. What is the message of the story? What can we learn? What is the wisdom of the story? And do not want to dig more in the sedimentation of the text. Usually in practical way, that is what happened. That's why
So far I am completely agreeing with you, but now I would like to illustrate that with an example of what you are actually doing. You are making exegesis of the story of Jacob at Jabbok, and your interest and need might be, I think, showing that Jacob really has changed after having survived this night at the river Jabbok, because you want to stress the mystical experience. Now you have resisted, I must congratulate you on that, you have resisted the temptation to picture Jacob, Israel, as a completely renewed person, but still you quote Wacana, you quote Buber on the name Jacob, the new name that Jacob receives, Israel. The evil and long awkward name of Jacob is thrown away. Now this raises expectations of a real profound change, and my questions are, how do you explain that the name Jacob is still used often after the new name is given, Israel is given? Abraham is never called Abraham after he has received the new name Abraham. But Jacob is still used. You picture Jacob as an authentic Israelite in whom there is no longer any guile. Then we get the expectation of a real changed person, but still you conclude that he has that after his reconciliation with Jacob, he somehow is just as cautious and manipulative as before. And fourth, then you observe that Jacob limps after the nightly event, which shows the bodily impact of the mystical experience. And you suggest that this makes him fit for peacemaking with his brother. And even you suggest that this limping is a public remembrance to his mystical experience. To be honest, I think you are overstating your case. I would like to see some more support from the text. Don't you overstate the lasting effect of the mystical experience?
Thank you, Joseph. I already wrote in my chapter 4 that Jacob, after being baptized, let's say, to become Israel. After that, in the following part, he still be addressed as Jacob. And the story that he is transferred into Israel also mentioned again on the Genesis chapter 31. So the moment of the transformation of Jacob to be Israel is on the one hand is really existential, but the story that of course composed by many sentimental texts and then being taken as one by the editors, if we look at as a narrative, can seems not too consistent because then he's still addressed as the Jacob. But this is the important story as a narrative even. But the person who changed into Israel context also the new and also the old. In a sense, the old can be poured out and the new come, but this new is still Jacob. So this is kind of a dialectic dynamic within a person who experiences mystical quest. In that moment, even the story is more interesting.
Okay, I'm satisfied so far.
If you would like to pose a second question, now at the moment, please take the floor.
I have still okay, thank you. Well, just a very short one. On page 100 and 113, you write about the name of the river Jabbok. And it's clear that there is a wordplay going on with the name Jacob that is seen by almost all exegetes. But you suggest that the etymology of the name Jabbok, from Jabbok, pouring out, emptying, that has a relation with mysticism. Now, etymology can be used in this way. For example, for the name Jacob is explained, but then the verb is literally in the text, Genesis 25:26. But here, there is no hint, as far as I can see, of the river Jabbok meaning what it means, by, as you say, pouring out, emptying in a mystical sense. So, is this really meant by the author? Is this exegesis or is it just pious application?
Thank you. Well, I have two ways to address this. First, we have to be fair of every places that mentioned in this broader context. If the Seir and Mahanaim could be interpreted to explain the meaning of the story, why don't we do the same to Jabbok? This is the first question. Second, I have already mentioned in my introduction of chapter 3 that I will try to use mystical experience, mystical quest as a lens to interpret the narrative. So I will try to install any mystical quest scheme in the narrative. And I try to, as sharp as possible, to find elements that can be used, can be strengthened, the mystical elements. And I found this one. Jabbok, one of the meaning is, like you say, pull out. At the Jabbok, Jacob became Israel. The old Jacob is erased and the new emerged. Something pouring out happened here. And for me, this is very exciting. If we see deliberately from the lens of mystical quest, not from the other lens. If we use this lens, it becomes like that. I know this is kind of experimentation. I remember one of my supervisors told me, well, there is no one say like that. If you are the only one, you would be the last. But I take the chance. If we use deliberately the lens of mystical quest, that is what we can find in the meaning of Jabbok.
Okay, you're a brave exegete, but you have not convinced me.
Next, who is happy to enter into discussion with you, esteemed candidate, is Dr. Hoekema, who is Emeritus Associate Professor of Mythology in the Faculty of Theology of this university. Dr. Hoekema.
Dear candidate, I'm indeed happy to continue the discussion with you, and I do so on the authority of the Rector Magnificus and according to my right. Reading and rereading your dissertation, which in many respects is very interesting and also touching new ground, several things are striking me or have been striking me. One is, and you mentioned it in fact in your PowerPoint presentation, one is even though your own context is a country in which Islam is experiencing a revival, you hardly mention Islam as a religious, cultural and social element which may have been of influence at the Dewa Ruci story. Yet this is exactly what Bernard Arps, professor of Javanese literature at the Leiden University and himself a grandson of a Protestant missionary in West Java, advocates in an article which he published some 5 years ago, Dewa Ruci and the Light that is Muhammad. According to Arps, directly and indirectly, the Yazidi Quran version of the story contains quite a lot of references to Islamic piety and Sufism. And in some respects, the quality of Dewa Ruci even might be applicable to the Prophet Muhammad. Now, I fully understand what you write on page 55, that you want to limit yourself to the encounter of one religious Javanese text and the Bible. Yet, would it not be easier to reach your goal, at least one of your goals, that is reconciliation and better understanding between Muslims and others in your own country, if you had paid some more attention to these Islamic elements in the text? And I ask this also because in chapter 5, paragraph 4, page 168 and following, you include a few insights from the Anabaptist Mennonite legacy as to reconciliation and peace building. Maybe Professor Enns will continue the discussion about that point. But surprisingly, you do not mention in this respect the practical efforts in the field of peace building made by some of your Mennonite colleagues in Indonesia, like Paulus Hartono and also Wijaya. Paulus Hartono in his booklet, The Radical Muslim and Mennonite, in which he describes how he tries to reach a better understanding with the radical Hezbollah group in Surakarta. And in a sense, I'm surprised that you omit this fact. And I think that a brief paragraph about the Anabaptist legacy would have gained weight by including this modern example and contextual example. So my main question is, why did you leave out the context of Islam as the religion of the majority of your country from your argument?
Lord, thank you for your remarks. First of all, let me say that I do not erase the Islamic context, societal Islamic context of Indonesia in my thesis. It is exactly, I try to find a way to address the kejawen Islam in order then to address the Islam. So, in the chapter introduction, if you read my introduction chapter,